I walked up the street just out of curiosity to see if Target had Mayhem in the Mortal on their shelves, and they did, but of course, I'm not buying anything from Target. So it was time to go home and check to see if my package was here. I was happy because I did see my subscription from Cover Snob. I had completely forgotten about it, and let me tell you, this book's so cute. But here is my new book, Mayhem in the Mortal by Shanora Williams, and I am going to see her as well. The book signing was held at the Last Chapter bookstore in Chicago, and let me tell you, it was the most ghetto book signing I have ever been. Nothing about the author, all about the bookstore. Had all of the readers standing outside in the cold for over an hour. I've never seen that before after going to at least minimum 20 book signings here in Chicago. You can see my daughter just trying to warm herself up. She ended up having 4 seizures because it was so cold. Here they're telling us that we should be thankful because they're letting us sit down before everyone else after my daughter's last seizure. Those bright lights ended up giving me a migraine, so I did not record the author. My dog will not let me be great to show you that I did end up with 3 books. One that I had already pre-ordered, and then you had to buy to get a ticket, so we had 2 more books that were all signed. I'm really hoping that I can share some tips and tricks for you guys so you can just see some different ways that you can design your journal. So we're going to get started on making our journal look like this. I always like to listen to music when I'm journaling, so I'm going to use the shortcut with the little bookmark up top, and it's just going to start playing with the playlist that I had set up, but originally it'll just be whatever you have playing in general. Once I am in my library, to make sure that the frames are the same size, I'm going to copy and paste the one that was already there. Grabbing the cover from Google, I'm just going to drag it in, but you can also save it to your photos. I want the cover to look like it is in the frame, so I am going to send it to the back. I don't want to color the stars again, so I'm going to duplicate the ones that were already there, and then using the custom color tool, I'm going to match the stars to one of the colors in the book, and then I'm going to copy and paste it and place it into my mini review. All of the stickers I'm using do come in a sticker book, but I like to use them in their elements form because it's easier to grab from the elements tab up top. This is normally the first thing I do because I oftentimes do not want to do a full review right after reading the book. So I will just place something in here until I get the urge. It could be days later to actually do a full review. And on here, I decided not even to do a mini review and instead just to add one of my favorite quotes from the book. On your review, go ahead and fill in all of your bookish information up top. For this review, I wanted it to be pretty cohesive, so I used the majority of my stickers from the same sticker pack. You do not have to do this part here. You can just tick it off if you want to, but I'm just showing you some ideas of how you can make it a little extra or whatnot. I have ADHD, so my thoughts are always all over the place. I did not complete this review originally in one day. I'd probably say I did it over the course of 3 or 4 days. My summary is just random thoughts that I had when I was reading the book. Because I only journal when I feel like it, I never know exactly where I want anything to go. So, including my text, every single thing gets turned into an element. This section ended up being my summary, so I decided to label this here and add a cute little arrow to say where it was going. A few days later, when I did my review, I realized that I needed to change up the spacing in the actual review bit. Later on, I realized I had a quick question that was never really answered in the book, so I took a blank element and typed out quick question. Now you can add a border to any of your text, so I added a white border around the question and then turned it into an element by combining the two. This way I can move it together all as one. Sticking with that same sticker pack and the idea of arrows, I went ahead and added an arrow to where it said quick question. The author had some artwork on her Instagram for the characters, so I screenshotted the characters that she already had in her mind. In my photos, I long pressed on the images and turned it into a sticker of its own by adding an outline to each character. Another way you can add an outline is using a free app. Now, this particular app, I just removed the background from the image and then I used the outline bit and got it to the exact specifications that I wanted it. So just go ahead and export it. You'll get rid of the watermark later. Back in your app, you're going to want to crop the image to get rid of the watermark. And once you have gotten rid of that, if you so choose, you can turn it into an element or you can leave it just how it is. After turning both quotes into elements, I knew that I would want to layer the actual characters in their quotes to give it some dimension. So I'm going to use the exact same sticker pack to use a realistic circle sticker to place behind both the character and the quotes together. I duplicated the stickers just to make sure that they were both the exact same size. And again, I'm constantly moving stuff around, which is why I turn everything into elements. So you'll see I'm trying to place everything exactly where I want it to go. Normally when I'm doing this, I'm probably just sitting on my bed watching television, nothing special. At some point, I went to Pinterest and downloaded some images that had something to do with the book. And for the female, I placed her image on top of hers and I made sure to bring my text to the front. That way it wasn't covering up the words. For some reason or another, I don't know why, I decided to put the male's image actually behind his character and his quote. Because this is a digital journal, it is perfect for me because with my ADHD, I never know where I want anything. So you can just see me here playing around until I can figure something out. If you take nothing else away from this video, I hope it's that journaling should be relaxing. It took me about 4 days to complete this because I only did it when I felt like relaxing, if I was watching TV or something. The whole point of making this realistic digital reading journal was to actually feel like you were using a real journal, but yet you could move stuff around because I do all the time. So I hope this helped. Maybe you learned something, and until next time, later.